So hello, good morning ma'am. I'm Janica Bigulares and my topic for today is push-pull recovery method. First is connect a hose from the discharge port of the recovery unit to the V4 side of refrigeration or air conditioning system. Then connect another hose from the liquid side of the refrigeration or air conditioning system to the side glass and on the liquid side of the recovery tank. Second is, connect a hose from the vapor side of the recovery tank to the suction port of the recovery unit. Once all connections are hooked up, purge the hoses to get rid of non-condensable gases and insert materials before starting recovery. Third is, open the valves on the recovery tank. Turn the selector valve on your recovery unit, the vapor, and turn the recovery unit on. Recovery will start. Fourth is, while the recovery is in progress, watch closely the sight glass. When the passing liquid is no longer visible through the sight glass, or when the scale reading stops going up, the first step of the recovery is complete. Fifth, when it complete, close the vapor valve on the recovery tank and let the recovery unit run until the lamp indicates recovery complete. When recovery is complete, turn the system switch off and turn the selector valve clockwise to off. And sixth is, at this point, you must purge the lines to prevent refrigerant loss. Turn the system switch on and turn the selector valve to purge. When the unit again shutdowns and the lamp indicates recovery complete, the purge is complete. 7. Turn your recovery unit off and close the liquid valve on your recovery. 8. Reconnect the hoses as in a standard vapor recovery. 9. Once the hoses are reconfigured for vapor recovery, turn the selector valve to vapor and run the vapor recovery process continuing until the recovery unit shuts off. And the last is 10. Purge once more before you begin servicing your HVAC system. This final purge clears the recovery unit of refrigerant, which reduces the risk of cross-contamination and prolonging the life of your equipment. Next is recovery method using the system's own compressor. There are instances wherein technicians have no access to refrigerant recovery units but are compelled to remove refrigerant in a system. In such case, the technician has to know first if the compressor of the system is working. If it is, then it is possible to use that compressor to recover the refrigerant in its own system. It can be used to pump down the system the normal way and transfer the refrigerant from the system into a cold recovery cylinder. A cylinder packed in ice, or it may only be possible to use the cold recovery cylinder as both condenser and receiver by installing it at the compressor outlet. So, this method may be used in servicing a refrigerator or a window type air conditioner where only a small amount of refrigerant is present in the system and shall be performed prior of vacuuming. Next is refrigerant recycling process. Refrigerant recycling involves processing to use refrigerants to reduce contaminant, then reusing the refrigerant in the same system of returning the refrigerant to the system. Recycling is permitted only when recharging to the same owner's equipment. So, it involves reducing the levels of contaminant prior to use. Contaminants includes oil, moisture, acids, chlorides, particulates, and non-condensable gases. The example of recycling refrigerants is first removing the refrigerant from the system containing it, and then sending it through equipment that will clean it. Next is method of recycling refrigerants. First, the single pass method. This method involves the process of letting the refrigerant pass through the recycling machine or recovery unit through filter, dryers, or through distillation at one time only, then towards the storage cylinder. Second is the multiple pass method. This method lets the refrigerant pass through the recovery machine, through the filter, dryer, and recirculates it several times before it is transferred to the storage cylinder. This may take a longer period of time depending on the level of contamination or moisture present in the refrigerant. And the last is general guidelines in retrofitting. What is retrofitting? In refrigeration and air conditioning, retrofitting means the procedure of replacing depleting substance, ODS or hydrofluorocarbon, HFC refrigerants in exciting aims with zero ozone depleting potential, ODP, or zero global warming potential, OWP refrigerants. Retrofitting usually requires modifications such as change of lubricant, replacement of expansion devices, or replacement of through investigate and study of the system. So the technician has to refer the manuals and consult with manufacturers of refrigerants and compressors and study the characteristics, parameters and compatibility of refrigerants to lubricants and other components in the system. And that's all.